All right. Well, hey, everyone. It is Monday evening. My name is Dee Corchin, and we are here for our Coaches Up for Change, our weekly team time. And it is good to see you. Many of you, we got to see each other in person at the Grow Global event, which we're going to be talking about tonight. So many of the leadership team were invited to and qualified and chose to attend leadership event with Dr. A and Dan Bell. And we're going to have the opportunity to hear from some people there. And we're going to do a little freestyle with some people that want to share what they learned, what they discovered, and what their aha moments, what they're going to put into action, because that's really what it is all about. And events are great. If you haven't been to an Optavia event, we're going to have a few people share tonight about their experience at their first event. And we're going to start with talking about it, some of our key takeaways, because events are where we get awakened to what's possible, possibly reminded why we started this journey, why we're on this mission, and it helps us clear the cobwebs, because most of the time, the only thing that can hold us back in this business is our thinking, what we're thinking about ourselves and what we're thinking about other people. So we've got two people to congratulate. We had so many people that ranked to the leadership ranks last month. We have two that we are finishing up the month of April with. One is Kathie Motherway, who I had the opportunity to meet this weekend. She is a newer coach on our team, set a big goal to qualify for executive director and be at Grow Global. So Kathie, we want to hear about your Optavia journey, setting that goal, what you had to do to achieve it, and then tell us about your experience at your first event.
Okay, great. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, maybe just talk a little bit louder.
Okay. So thank you for this opportunity. Forgive me, I'm probably going to have to read a little bit because I'm a little nervous, but 6 months ago, I didn't even want to turn on my camera in our Zoom meetings, let alone speaking on a Zoom meeting. So I've made progress, and this program has definitely brought my confidence back. So my story is I didn't recognize the girl in the mirror. The reflection I was staring at was not the person I felt like inside. They didn't match. And I needed to get that girl back. I also had developed type 2 diabetes after opening a home bakery. And let me just say, being a good baker is a blessing and a curse. You have to try everything, right? Within a couple months on the program, however, my A1C was back down to a normal number, and I was able to get off the medications, and I quickly became a believer in the success of this program. I lost about 50 pounds in 6 months or so, and I've still got more to go, but I'm so pleased to be where I am. When I learned about coaching and realized I could have an impact on helping other people not only change their weight, but their health as well, all while keeping my own health in check, I signed up. The more I learned, I wanted to learn more and understand more about the company and what they were all about and what they stood for. And so I made Grow Global my goal so I could check it out and learn and feel and understand what the company was all about. I actually even bought my flight ahead of qualifying for some motivation. And so with the help of Shauna and Frank and all of you and everyone, I made ED and Grow Global, and it was amazing. I've been an ultrasound tech for 30 years. So my whole adult life, I started right out of high school. It's all I've known. And the thought of leaving this field is terrifying. But after this weekend, I'm so confident I can serve in this new way that I'm ready to give my notice and work at being a coach full time. So, and who knows, maybe I'll actually be, as Dee said, maybe I'll be better at coaching that scanning hearts and maybe even more impactful. So probably my biggest takeaway from the meeting was being awakened to the idea that coaching coaches will make a bigger impact on people's lives than just coaching individuals. It's a whole new mindset that I'm ready to dive into. And a few phrases that stuck with me over the weekend were Stop trying to have a better past. Let go of all that no longer serves you. And you have to unbecome the person you thought you had to become the person that you were meant to be.
That is powerful, Kathie. Thank you. Thank you. And, that's the power of events, right? Is just not even realizing maybe what you were dragging around with you, right? The thoughts. And we were just over, sometimes just a conversation. It was over dinner. And she was like, this is all I've ever done is scan hearts. And I said, you're probably really good at it, but it doesn't mean you have to do it the rest of your life, right? If you want to do something different. So that's wonderful. So congratulations, and excited to see where this is going to go, especially now that you're open to sponsoring and what's going to be possible through helping coaches. So yay. Yeah. Awesome. So next we're going to move to Annaliesa Wallace. Got the chance to meet Annaliesa for the first time. She lives in Texas, and got to attend her first event. So Annaliesa, can you unmute and share with us?
Can you hear me now?
Yep, there you are. Yep.
Perfect. Hi, Dee and everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share with you all. I was so excited that the convention was in Texas, because that really helped me seal the deal about being able to come. I'm just a baby in this program. I met some other babies in this program, and it was nice to know that I have folks in the same boat with me. We've already been texting today our goals and how we plan to support one another, which is so fun. And so I think that probably the one big point that I was awakened to at this was that we all know we should share Optavia with everyone, but also it's wonderful to be able to offer that opportunity to coach to everyone. And so I've been very blessed. I work in a gynecology practice as a physician assistant, and weight is something that I talk about almost every day, and honestly, almost every patient. And so just kind of echoing what she said just before, it's amazing the impact that I can have through Optavia that I'm had no idea was capable of or would even exist. And so not only am I going to focus now on sharing Optavia to my patients and to my friends, but also I'm going to offer that option of coaching, because I do think that sometimes we allow judgment of who may be the best coach or what might be the best coach or how they look cloud what reality could be. What reality could be. And unfortunately we might miss some wonderful people along the way by doing that. So that's one of my my goals. And I was talking with my coach Meg today, and one of my big takeaways too, and just an overarching, I had no idea how big Optavia is and what the potential truly is there. And it really awakened me to that point. And I just shared with her that there's been so many times that I've just felt like my wings have been somewhat clipped. And this has shown me that I can fly. And that is an awesome feeling. So thank you, Dee. And it's so nice to meet you. And thank all of you for your support.
Awesome. That is so great. I mean, a lot of times you just don't see that, right? Jamil Frazier did a great presentation. I don't know if you were in it, but he just talked about that sometimes we're living in our own cage. We don't even realize it, and we are living in our own cage. So getting those wings unclipped and being able to fly and really being able to be exactly who you are and do that through the pursuit of other people and helping them achieve is incredible. And Brian Drollinger spoke about sponsoring and all of that. And he was just talking about, it's just our role. Like, we can't judge other people, and our role is just to always help people see it bigger. And we're doing them a favor by offering them coaching because of what we know here. So I'm so glad that you embrace that, Annaliesa. And Annaliesa can dance. That's all I'm going to say. That girl likes to dance. We had a lot of fun. We worked hard, but we played really hard. So great. Okay. Well, one other person who was going to share couldn't be on tonight. She had a family situation, so that's absolutely fine and takes priority. But I really wanted Vicki Feldman to share. Vicki got a little one-to-one encounter with Dr. Anderson. She said she had to go all the way to Texas to hear something from me. So I would really, Vicki has been coaching 9 years. Is that right?
9 years, yeah.
So yeah, so we all learn at different levels. So Vicki, would love for you to share your story.
Yeah, so it's taken me 9 years to learn something, even though Dee's been telling me the same thing for 9 years. So just so you know, I mean, we all do grow at different spaces in time. And I also think that, you know, we hear things differently at different times. And I mean, gosh, I've been going to conferences. I've been going to globals, and I've been going to every conference that I've been eligible to go to for 9 years. So this time, Dr. A cornered me. So that's the first time that's happened. And I was just kind of being a little feisty. He was coming to take a picture with us, and I was being a little feisty, and he just turned to me and he goes, you know, are you always this feisty? And then of course, then I kind of got my wits about me, and I'm like, no, because I'm really not. It's just not how I operate. And he's like, why not? Why are you feisty? He goes, are you using that in your business? And I'm like, no. And then he wouldn't allow me to look anywhere else. He was like, you look at me. This conversation, like we were like in a boxing match. He's like, this is you and me. Don't look over there. Don't look at your friends. You look at me. And he was like in my face. I mean, if y'all look at my Facebook, you will see, because I didn't realize how many videotapes were going on in pictures at the same time. So, and me, I'm like sweating bullets. And, you know, and basically what he said is, why are you not using like something that's very attractive and appealing in your business? Where are you? And then he asked me like where I was. And then he suggested I come back with 10 FIBC teams next year. And I'm like, oh my God. And then, you know, are you going to work? And he was just really rattling me. Like, and then he came back at me. I thought he left, and I'm talking to everybody saying, oh my gosh. And he comes back at me from behind. And I think really what, you know, there was a lot of work on conscious leadership this weekend, and it was about being bold and being who you are. And I told him, I said, look, I come from a place, I have a master's in social work. I'm professional. I grew up in a family where it was like, what would the neighbors say? You always just did the right thing. So I've always been like the one that's going to be the rule follower. And I even said that, I'm like, I'm a rule follower. He goes, but you didn't always want to follow the rules, did you? And I'm like, well, no, not always. He goes, well, that's what you need to be using. So it, you know, when you pause to think about how you operate all the time, and then you reflect on, well, why am I operating that way? Do I always need to operate? Is it serving me well? So anyway, clearly I had pause for thinking and trying to be more bold. So that was a little bit of a game changer for me. And then, you know, you think coincidence, I need to just take this and run with it because we have this interaction for a reason. The other thing that I wanted to, for me, what I think one of my biggest takeaways was with coaches, right? So, you know, am I serving my coaches well? What more could I be doing to serve my coaches? And it's a little hard because, you know, coaches just like clients, you know, some need more, some don't feel like you don't need them at all, but then you really always have to inspect what you expect with your business. And I just, you know, wrote down a couple of things like, you know, questions that, you know, pose, or how are you? What's the hardest thing? How can I support you? You know, what is it that you want? How many health assessments? Like, I want to grow, Bill. Have you done any health assessments? You haven't done health assessments in 2 months. How are you going to grow? And then just kind of getting a little bit deeper with my coaches. And then we're just going to circle back with my interaction with Dr. A, because one of the first panels that we listened to, Dee was the second speaker on that panel. And she said something that just brought me right back to what the interaction with Dr. A. And she said, you know, we can only go as far as we can see. And once we're there, we can go further. And it's just like our clients, right? They say they want to lose 10. We know they need to lose 30. They can't see the 30 because they haven't lost the first 10. So it just mirrors what happens with our clients, with our journey, I think, as coaches, and how we can serve not only our personal clients, but the coaches on our team.
Awesome. Thank you. And that, you guys, that quote is a Carol Quintero quote that got repeated from the stage, Carol, because it was that good about we go as far as we can see. And at the leadership dinner, somebody asked Dr. A, they said, what is the secret to success? And he said, pain. Working through the pain, because when you're growing, it's going to be painful. And those that run from it, that make excuses, we tell ourselves every story in the world, but it's actually working through that. And I think, Vicki, I was looking at some of my notes from this that I was going to share, but what Optavia gives us the opportunity to do is to figure out what we want. And then we need to turn the voices down in our head that are telling us otherwise. And that's what he wanted you to do, is turn the voices down. right? Turn the voices down. Did you want to add to that?
I was just going to say, fire the roommate. Fire the roommate.
Mhm.
I will tell
Yeah.
you today, I've had people on my scared list. Today, I was like, I'm not even thinking about the scare. I just called them. I called every single one of them. So
Mhm.
you just do. Kind of like Kathie, who shared about buying the ticket and then getting to
Yeah.
the event. So kudos to you.
Nice. Yeah. Big move going from a victim, right? Like kind of the victim mentality into empowerment with it. And, Dr. A talked a lot about self-leadership, and he said, self-leadership is what matters. The creative process means moving forward despite what you think of yourself. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions can change. The only growth is going to be when you step out of your comfort zone and know that there's going to be pain at that point. So, well, good. Well, we have just a couple of minutes. Would love to just give the opportunity for a few other people. We have all different levels. There's a lot of coaches I see on this call that were there this weekend. Would love for, maybe we could probably take 2 or 3 of you to raise your hand, and would love to hear maybe something that you heard, something you were awakened to, and then something you're going to put into action. Who wants to go first? You can use the raise hand feature. Go, Meg.
Okay, I'm not fancy enough to use that feature, so I just got to raise my real hand. One of the big things that stuck out to me is to not let our feelings hinder us, right? Like we all have feelings, and in the moment it feels so real, like we are our feelings. But the reality is our feelings are not us. It's just a thing outside of us, right? So that was huge. And there's this quote that I kept on thinking about, and I still remember when I prayed for the things I have now or something like that. And just the reality of like, we are growing. We're growing our businesses, but more than that, we're growing ourselves. And so I think it's very helpful for us to have that contentment, right? And remember, right, that where we started and how much we've grown. There's a great quote that I really loved, and it's that we can get obese on information if we don't exercise it. I was like, boom, we can get obese on our notes from the weekend if we don't exercise it, if we don't become like Vicki and call everybody on our scared list. So that was huge. And then one final quote that I loved was, we all know we need fuel. We know our fuelings are the bomb, right? But what's your fuel? What's going to sustain you when things get hard? How are you going to keep moving? Is it early mornings? Is it fuelings? So those are just a few things that I'm thinking about.
That's so good, Meg. So good. And it tied into Brian Jollinger asked the question. He said, where would you be without coaching? Like almost like don't forget your roots, right? And I looked at who was there and the radical changes in people's lives. And I look on this call and the number of people that were able to walk away from jobs, that were able to cut hours, people that were able to move to new locations, people that were able to, do different things. And we can't forget that, because we can get so frustrated thinking we're not where we're supposed to be or where we want to be, but we forget what it's already done for us. And that is so important. Emily, I see your hand raised. I'm excited to hear you share, because you almost didn't go.
I did. I almost didn't go, and I'm so glad I went. I loved every second of it. I'm so tired, but I loved it. So a couple things that I picked up on. I don't think I'm going to answer all your questions, but the first one was that I'm the master of my schedule, and that the moment I look at my phone or I check my email, it's no longer my schedule. I'm no longer the master. So to have a plan for my day before I even go to my phone or my computer so that I can remain in control, I think that's going to be huge for me. And another big takeaway was David Bush did a demonstration where he held a rope, and one end of the rope was when you're born and the other end of the rope is where you die. And then he cut like right around the middle and said, when you cut the rope, it was basically when you cut the rope, that's your past behind you. So you need to focus on the future. And what we do is he tied his wrists with the rope and said that our past sometimes binds us. and just kind of paralyzes us. And so we just have to get rid of it. So cut the rope was like a big thing, move on with the future, and, just let go of the past. And so that I really loved.
Yeah, so good. So, so good. Excellent. Thanks for sharing that. All right, Corey, I see your hand up.
Yeah, so it was amazing. Definitely, I took so much away from it, but I had also written that that I am the master of my own schedule, and I choose my best yes, and do delegate or delete. Like, that was really powerful to me, because I just was thinking there's so many things that I put on my schedule that get they're not that important, and I need to really kind of focus on what I want to get done, and going forward. And I talked to my husband about that, like the first thing I came home and did, and I just have where my plans are, where I'm going, and kind of let go of some of these smaller things. I've always kind of put myself in this little identity, and just to say that I'm not just somebody that does laundry or goes to the store. There's just other options out there for some of that stuff, and look at what's important and go forward with it. That cut the rope thing, that was huge for us this weekend, and we spent a lot of time talking about that. So just everything about the weekend, where they were just saying, you're kind of writing down these statements like, I am becoming ridiculously good at launching and supporting new clients. Like, we need to tell ourselves these things, and then we need to just believe them.
So good. The power of our words, right? The power of our words. And I love that. That's the beauty of Optavia, is it's awakening you to who you really are and what's possible, and probably gifts and talents you didn't even know are in there, are going to be expressed in a different way. So good. Well, we'll finish up with you, Debbie, before we move to our next topic.
Okay. So I have so been passionate about wanting to help people be healthier and to have better lives. Like, it's not even just necessarily adding years to our lives, but actually adding the joy to the years that we have. So one of the things that really hit me, I know that the US is unhealthy. I know that, but I heard that 5%, that we make up 5% of the world's population, and we use 50% of the world's prescription pharmaceuticals. How sad is that? And I know from having worked in pharmacy, I remember ringing people up for their Tricor and their fried chicken, and how frustrating that was, and how it seemed odd and not congruent. Another thing that hit me, so that really hit me because it matters. And it matters that we can set people on the path to their best lives only by opening their eyes, or helping them to open their own eyes and live their best lives. So another thing was when we talked about culture is what I create, but it's also what I allow, that Henry Cloud quote. And then who said this? I don't know who said it, but someone said, you can't give away what you don't have. And so I recognize that I need to plug into my health and be, the example that I want for people to follow. So just all the things. I mean, I can't even say how much stuff I got out of this weekend, and that the timeline thing and cutting the rope and all that, and people spending so much time looking at their past, that for me, that alone was worth the plane ride. I just really enjoyed the weekend. So thank you for encouraging me to come.
Yeah, because it was almost, Debbie didn't decide till probably 2 weeks before that she was actually going to go. There was just other things that she was working around, and we played the what if game. What if you went? And I'm so glad that you got out of it. We will be talking, I think you heard about the multiplication effect of sponsoring. There's going to be some sponsoring workshops that are going on in the month of May that we'll share about. But that one thing they really talked about in the leadership room was there's a huge misconception that to earn more in this business that you have to work harder. And actually, when we think that way, what that means is we don't understand, and we're not taking advantage of the multiplication factor. And I'll give you an example. I, on the way home, sat next to a chiropractor and his wife that happened to be Optavia coaches. They grew up the business pretty quickly, but he said, I'm a chiropractor in my town. He said, quite frankly, I liked being the center of attention. I liked being the doctor that everybody wanted to see. He goes, and I liked it so much that I then signed up to train other chiropractors so I could be in the front of the room and training them. And he goes, and I realized, he said, that I have no time freedom. It all depends on me. He said, there's nothing scalable in that. And he said that Optavia is scalable and I can help a lot more people create true health. And so it was just really cool to see somebody with a background like that, who really, just saw the bigger and the advantage of what Optavia can do for us. So we are excited, you guys. We have until May 9th with the Essential Start Savings. So we are so lucky. We've got another solid 2 weeks on this. We've got about 5 days left in the month of April. I know a lot of you guys are chasing your goals, and it's so possible for you to get there. But working with Meg, we really wanted to do something that would really help you finish these next 2 weeks strong, and have something that, as we're bringing these clients on, a structure that helps them fully integrate into what it is that we have to offer, and that we can guide them to give them a good solid 6 weeks. So Meg, you want to spend a few minutes talking about our upcoming challenge?
Yes. Okay. So would you do me this favor? Would you put an 8 in the chat if you love challenges when we do challenges with our clients? Throw an 8 in the chat. So we are really excited. Beth, all of those 8s. I love that. So we are really excited to announce and launch our 6-week Summer Slimdown Challenge. And y'all, the graphics for this are incredible. So we are really excited about this. So it's going to last for 6 weeks. This is perfect for adding new clients who might want to join us in this mission of getting healthy, but it's also great for your current clients, maybe the ones that have been stuck in a rut and they're giving you the same excuses over and over, or maybe some reactivated clients. This is a great reason to reach out to them. Not only can they save money, but they can also benefit from this great challenge. And we just want you to know this is going to be simple. So here's how it's going to work. We have a registration link. So you're going to talk to your clients, potential clients about it. If they want to register, you're going to send them the registration link, and they're going to put their goal in there, right? So we're going to get to see their goal, what they want to accomplish over the next 6 weeks. And then every single day, once this challenge starts on May the 9th, we are going to have a post in Eat, Live, and Be Healthy at 7 a.m. Eastern. That's going to have a question of the day or something to move them forward in their health. And so every day they're going to log on, they're going to be able to engage in our Facebook group. And we basically want to ask them to do 4 things. Number 1, do a weekly coaching call with you for 5 to 10 minutes. Number 2, check in daily with the Facebook group post. Number 3, we want them to read weekly in the life book. I heard a great tip this weekend to either let them do 1 30-minute session or 5 minutes a day. That's been a game changer. So read weekly in the life book, or they can be on the Habit of Health call or the Tuesday night call. And then number 4, what they are going to do is they're going to follow their nutrition plan, whether that's the 5 and 1 or the 4 and 2, or maybe even the 3 and 3. So here's my challenge to you, coaches who are out there. Do you want to join us on this? Because here's what I know. When I went all in on January 9th, and I lost 28 pounds in 9 weeks and now 36 pounds or whatever, my business went bananas. It went bananas in all the best ways. So I'm thinking some of you want some bananas going on. So the best way to do that is to dial in your nutrition. And I know you've had life happen. So put a me in the chat if you are saying, yep, okay, it's time. I'm going to work on my sleep. I'm going to work on my health. I'm going to work on doing the next 10. I love that. Will you, when you register, post about it and also let us know what is your goal? Because as coaches, like we can lead our clients so well, and we need this. So I think that's incredible. I'm excited. I have chills right now. I wish we were all together because I really feel like this is going to be huge. So the last thing I would love to know from you is how many people are you going to be bringing with you in this challenge? Set a goal. I think we had 330 last time we did this, the Summer Slimdown Challenge. How many do you want to bring? Current clients, new clients, old clients? And here's the kicker. We want to keep reminding them every week when you're doing your checkup call to put in their results. And the cool thing is we get to combine everybody's results, and we'll share that information with you. So I'm excited. I love challenges and excited for what this is going to mean for all of us.
So good. I know I saw Beth Hilton say that she actually came in as one of the, as a challenge. So such an opportunity. And then when she really saw what Optavia was about, she became a coach as well. So I know we've got a few people on our team through that. So thank you, Meg. Yeah, we start May 9th. Really want to do a push that, like, I would encourage you. We're going to post the graphics. I'll do the post just in a little bit tonight with the graphics. We'll have a Google Doc with guidelines for you, a sample email you can send out to your inactives, but hit the ground running with this. And what I'm going to do is really work to get as many people get ordered by April 30th. So then their program will arrive next week, and then we'll have them all set up for that, that May 9th start date. So who's excited? Yes. Good stuff. Yeah. So good. Excited to see. And I cannot tell you, when we light ourselves on fire with our own health, as Meg said, be prepared with what will happen. You're going to feel amazing. You're going to have energy. And it's so cool because you can just say, come do this with me. It's such an easy invitation. So any questions as we're wrapping up? Probably have time for like one question if anybody has a question. All right. Love it when we do such a good job. Thank you to everybody who shared tonight. Thank you for all the inspiration. Thank you guys for carving out time for yourself and putting yourself and your business as a priority. And because that most importantly means you care about other people and helping others. So we'll see you in the Facebook group this week. For those of you guys that are on executive directors or higher, Jamil Frazier is speaking on our call next Monday. I think that's May 2nd, whatever it is, this coming Monday at 3 p.m. So you're going to want to be on that call. So have a great evening, you guys. I'll see you in the Facebook group, and let's finish this month strong. Bye.